everyone, it's Erica here from Me to Paper Crafts, and I'm coming to you with another Fun Fold Friday video. This one is really cute. It is a diagonal fold card, and I've seen it on YouTube quite a number of times, and it looks really complicated. But it really isn't complicated, and I'm going to show you how to make it. Now, the design I'm going to do today to show you is a little bit different. This is a square, but the next one I'm going to show you is not a square. It's going to be a little different. And the stamp set we're going to be using is called Perfectly Plaid. I thought our center element would actually be a tree. And we're also using this beautiful Wrapped in Plaid 6x6 Designer Series paper, just to do something a little bit different. Now, on my blog post, I will put the measurements for the current card that I'm going to show you, but I'll also include the measurements for this element if you'd prefer to do this. And I use some of the circle punches, which is great and easy. And so let me show you how to do it. I think it is just the cutest little card. And surprisingly, I mean, it's kind of a short card. It measures, I think it's 4 1/4. Yeah, it's 4 1/4 in height. But it fits in a regular sized envelope, but you put it in kind of like this. Like that is how you're going to put it in the envelope. So it fits perfectly. All right, so let's get started. I'll set aside the stamp set and the paper. Now, I've already cut all of the pieces that we need, and I'll tell you what the measurements are as we go, but I will post them on the blog, so not to worry. So you're going to have a card base, and this actually measures 7.5 by 4 1/4, and we're going to score this in 2 spots. And then I've cut a piece of Whisper White for my insert, or the inside where you might want to put your greeting. And this actually measures 2 1/4 by 4, and that's going to go down the center. And then for the diagonal pieces, you're going to cut these pieces on a diagonal. And so you're going to have a piece here. So this is the measurement here, like that, you see. And you're going to cut 2 pieces because I also wanted to do these outside panels as well. And so these 2 pieces actually measure 2 1/4 by 3 7/8, and you cut them on the diagonal. But just a bit of a warning, and I'll show you, you're not going to cut these automatically. You want to kind of position them on the card first to make sure that you're actually cutting the right diagonal, because you're either going to cut from corner to corner this way, or you're going to cut from corner to corner this way, okay? So don't do those ahead of time. And then for the image, I have cut a piece of, because this plaid paper has gold in it, I thought a piece of gold glimmer would be nice on here. And this measures 2 3/8 by 2 7/8, and then the Whisper White piece measures 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. So it's just a very narrow, almost a 1/8 of an inch measurement around for the border. All right, okay, so let me start by scoring this piece here. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned my trick before. When I'm scoring cardstock, I really like my stylus to flow nicely and not jump the track. And so I always use a piece of wax paper and just give it a little bit of a rub on my cardstock. Let me pull out my scoreboard here, which I store on the floor next to my desk, and pull this up. Let me grab my scoring tool here. On cardstock, I kind of like to use the thick point, but you could use a narrow point. Just don't press too hard. You don't want to rip it. Okay, so on the horizontal side now, you are going to score at 2 1/2, 2 1/2, and at 5 inches. And look how nicely it glides with the wax paper. Wax on it is perfect. Okay, and that's all the scoring that you need for this project. Oh, until we get to the little tree. I'm going to show you what I did with my little tree. Okay, so I'm just going to fold, and I'm going to burnish these score lines. All right, now the next thing you're going to do, and I'm going to grab Excuse me, I'm going to grab my new trimmer here because it has a fabulous scoring blade on here. You are now going to score on the left hand side. You're going to score from this corner down to the score line, okay? So you're going to line up that score line and the point on the trimmer, and I might have to tilt it up because I can't really see my lighting here, or my lighting's not great. Okay, so get that positioned like that, and I'm now, put your cutter out of the way. You don't want to cut it, you're going to score it. So I'm going to score that corner to corner. Okay, and then I'm going to score this side the same direction, but from the fold to the outside corner. So put that in on the fold to that outside corner. Again, let me just lift that up a bit so I can see where I am. There we go. Hold that tight and you're going to score that again. Okay, so now you have 2 score lines. They both go in the same direction, and we're going to fold back on this one. Give that a bit of a burnish. So that's going to go like that, and then this one's going to go like that. Okay, and we'll burnish this one as well. So that's what you end up doing like that. Okay. So the next thing we'll do is we will put on our designer series paper. So you want to watch what you're putting. Now, I thought I would do a little tree, so I made this little tree. I used the coordinating punch that goes with this set called the pine tree. And what I did was I punched out a piece of the, oh my gosh, what's this called? Something spruce. Oh my gosh, I'll put that in my description. Something spruce. Oh wait, let me just look up. Oh, shaded spruce, that's what it's called because my ink pads are up here. Shaded spruce cardstock. And then I punched out the tree with the DSP. And I folded them and then I've glued them together. So if I've made this tree already, then I don't want this to be on my front panels. I think I will put the stockings on the front panel. There we go. You know me, when I make the second card, I like to design on the fly. So for this one, I am going to cut it on the diagonal this way. So this is what I mean. You decide where it's going, so you know that it has to go on a diagonal like that. And so you're going to cut it this way on a diagonal. Okay, so let me pull out my trimmer again and cut that from point to point. Now this is my new trimmer. The blades are very, very sharp, and so I'm not really worried. Oh, that's the, yeah, that's the, oh, now why isn't that, that's interesting. Why isn't that cutting? Oh, because my blade is falling out. Hang on. There we go. Let me try that again. Corner to corner. Hold it tight in place. Okay. What I was going to say is because this blade is very sharp, I can go from point to point, but typically a safer way to do it is to position your blade on the paper and then go from the middle out and out. Okay, to cut that. So those are those 2 pieces. And so they're going to fit like this on the outside of the card. We're going to glue those on. Okay, so let's do that. Let's hope my blade doesn't fall off again. I don't know why that happened. Now I'm going to pull out my silicone mat so that my tape doesn't stick to my paper. And I'm just going to put a bit of tape on those outside edges. You can open this up and then position this on your, you have a tiny bit of an edge. Watch your top so that you've got a nice edge on the right side and at the top. Okay, if you get excess glue, you can use your glue eraser to erase that. And then this one's going to go over here. So let's put tape on here and here. And we'll tape this down. Okay, so that's going to look like that. Okay, now we're going to do these edges here. So this is going to be cut on the diagonal from the top right down. So top right down. Now, I'm telling you to be careful with these cuts because I made a boo-boo the last time, and even when I flipped the paper over, it didn't work. So it really does matter that you know which corner you're cutting from. Okay, so I've done those. I think this is a really cute card. It doesn't stand up very well. I will warn you about that. But it is cute all the same. You could use Tombow glue if you like as well, whatever glue you're comfortable with. And then this one is going here. I'd like to somehow turn this into a gift card holder. I think it would be cute. There we go. Give that a good burnish. Make sure you get glue on the corners, the tips here, so that they don't come up. And there you go. There's your card. You don't have to put designer series paper on these outside panels if you don't want to, but I kind of think it looks really, really cute. Okay, there's my card. Now I want to show you what I did for the front here, this tree. So you're going to punch out a piece of plain cardstock and then the pattern paper, and you're going to put it on your scoreboard and you're going to score straight down the middle and give it a little bit of a fold. And then what I did was I put a dimensional on the back. I wanted to try, because there's a gold in the paper, I wanted to try maybe doing a gold tree on the back. I'll just give it a little bit of a fold. Like that. And then we'll put our tree on. And all I did was I only put glue down the center. So I did, sorry, I did it on the spine. Like that. So I just line it up, and then I'm just going to rub my fingernail along the score line. And I'm just going to leave that to dry. So I think it looks kind of cool with a bit of glitter showing in the back. And we'll have to wait for that to dry a bit more. Okay, so there's a couple of ideas. Oh yeah, I really like it with the glitter compared to this one. What do you think? Which one did you like better? All right, let's wait for that gold one to dry and see which one we decide on in the end. Okay, so now I have this panel here, And I thought I would just put the tree on top, but it's looking a little plain. So I might emboss the white. Okay, I just quickly chose the hammered metal embossing folder. I thought that that gave an interesting texture, hammered metal. And for this one, you need the new 3D embossing plate. So that's why I have this blue circle glued on here. So I know that I have to use that plate. You only use the one acrylic plate, which is that 3D plate. Okay, so now I'm going to, I might as well use Tombow. I think Tombow works well for glitter. So let's put some Tombow on here. And let's stick this down. It's got a very fine border. I really like a fine border, especially with glitter. I don't like anything too glitter, anything, you know, I don't want too much glitter. I love a little bit of glitter. Well, you know, some things with a lot of glitter can be cute too, just depends what you're doing. Okay, see, just a little bit of glitter. I love that. Okay, so then oh gosh, look at that, I'm liking it a lot. So I really like that a lot. Yes, siree. Okay, before I put the tree on though, I am going to glue this on my card. Actually, even before I do that, you know what part we haven't done? We haven't done this panel for the inside. Now, let me see. Is there a greeting in the stamp set I could use? Maybe just a simple Merry Christmas, because these greetings might be a little bit too wide for this piece of cardstock. So maybe I'll just do a simple Merry Christmas, and I think I will do it in the Merry Merlot. Let's grab a block. Let's get down my Merry Merlot. Because this, excuse me, this is the other color in this paper. You could use Cherry Cobbler if you don't have the Merry Merlot. And let's line this up with my grid paper. I can see the grid lines through this silicone mat. And let's just put that on there like that. Okay, I like that. And now I will glue this on the inside of my card. Cute, cute, cute. And now let's stick this on. So what you want to do is you want to position this on the card. So it is pretty well the same width as where you see where your DSP ends, so that's where you're going to position that on there. And so you only want to put a bit of glue, and not even on the whole thing. Be very careful where you put your glue. So I'm going to turn this over and just put a little bit right here. And I want to try and make it even top to bottom. Okay, now for the tree. So let's put our little tree on. And that's nice. I think that's nice and dry. I might want my tree to pop up, so let's put a dimensional on the back. I'll pop that up a bit. Okay. And let's put that on there. Just like that. Nice and simple. Sticky fingers. Okay. There you have it. Not a complicated card and quite an effective card. I hope you like it. I think that's very cute. So let me bring back the other one I made. If I can find it. I threw it to the side. Oh, here it is. I threw it to the side. So there you have one that is kind of a rectangular. Here's a little square with some circle framelets. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I'll put the measurements for both on my blog as well as the pictures for both. So why don't you try and make one? I think I've shown you a fairly simple way to do it. And you can share what you like with me. You can, yeah, share it on my Facebook group page. You can just search for From Me to You Paper Crafts on Facebook. That's my business page. So I hope you give me a thumbs up for my video. Sorry. You can comment down below. I always try to reply to everybody. And until next time, enjoy this Fun Fold Friday. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.